So we're here. We've got the technology in order. I'm here with my dear sister, Britta Aragon. Do you want to say hello?
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. It's incredible that the space opened up for us to drop in with your beautiful ladies and just join. It's always so it's like a cup of warm, hot, my favorite tea, just sitting in a blanket when I'm with you and when we do these things together. So thank you.
Yes, it's fun to be reacquainted again in this lifetime.
Totally, totally.
Yeah, so I wanted to pop on with Britta just quickly and invite you to a luscious, sacred sisterhood circle that's happening next week during this potent time of the equinox, the spring equinox, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And I'll let you kind of dive in and maybe just share why you decided to, co-create this event with all of these powerful beings all over the world, especially next week during this potent time.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm all about it's like we want to leverage energies, or like when I do retreats around the world, the first thing I think about is what's the theme of my retreat? And then I'm like, what part in the world, where's there a vortex, or where in the world would there be an environment that would support this very thing that I am that's coming through me, that we are wanting to shift, to transform, to manifest, to activate, to transmute. And so I've always been that kind of a thinker. And so a lot of my events are launched on like 11/11, or I use the number 7 a lot, like 7 days, or, 7/7/2000, whatever, or 7 days on the 7th of the month. I'm very all about symbols and setting the intention for the events. So of course, spring equinox, what a time of expansion, of new beginnings, a time of just dropping off. We're so ready. There's so much light in this planet. The energy is so conducive to allowing us to end cycles that have been going on for decades, and even through the lineage coming down, we have the ability and the power to declare to be done with certain things. And some we're still carrying and just going to be dropping off. And so what an incredible time to come together with incredible women that have medicines and have their gifts, and they're so committed to serving and to standing and to really being a way shower, and inviting other souls and other women to come in to be able to say, hey, sis, that's no longer useful. And do you just want to hand that over or put it in the fire pit of white light today? And, and so we have that ability to end certain patterns and cycles. And of course, we want to leverage this spring equinox energy to do that.
Oh my gosh, so yummy. And, you and I connected through just other collaborative type of events, through somebody, saying, hey, you all need to connect. And it was just an instant connection, an instant sister connection. And we talk all the time, and we're constantly sharing things that we're doing to cleanse our field, right? To continue to hold the light, to continue to be of service, to continue to feel so good in our bodies. And you and I both have a massive healing and transformation journey, and very similarly, yet very different stories around how we reclaimed our vitality and our health, and how that expanded us into so much spiritual connection, service, heart. And I believe that when women come together, right, like true magic happens. And I'm so excited. So
yes.
This is a live circle that is in conjunction with a bigger event that I'm very excited to talk about, because the thematic of the event is living a life without limits, right? Like truly embodying that. And we hear that jargon thrown around a lot, and having it all. And it's all this like more. So I would love to know your take, especially in divine feminine leadership, right? The women of this community and those who follow me are those that are right? Awakening the feminine and really what that means and what it means to carry the feminine pole in harmony with the masculine. So share your insights on why you created this event and your take on it as a feminine leader with a heart of gold.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, the first thing is that we hear living a life without limits, and my old New York self would say, no, thank you. That's not for me. I'm doing life different. I've committed to not leaving my body out of my life and out of the equation and out of my business. But in order to be limitless, it's like, how do I say yes to a life without my own perceived limits and self-imposed limits? And so in order to say yes to, or to live in this limitless energy and expansiveness, because I'm not talking limitless of I get to have all these boats and all this material stuff. It's this limitless connection to self and to source, and where it's consistent and it's sustainable, and it's allowing you to show up where you're not disconnected from your intuitive guidance, and your body's no longer left out of the equation. So that's a very unique pace, and I call it your pace of grace. And it is a practice to master, and it is very different from what your neighbor is, or from what your bestie or your husband or your kids or the influencer or the whoever. It is so specific. It's so unique, just as much as your own purpose and gifts are. It's got its own DNA, this pace of grace. And so in order to live a life and to say yes to a life without limits, I have to learn how to say no to a lot of the things that are not lighting me up. They are not part of my plan. Absolutely. They are part of someone else's plan for me. And so right. And I just took that on because I heard it when I was 14 and it sounded good, because maybe that will get me the love that I still didn't feel I had, or because my dad was a doctor and, okay, well, everyone in the family is a doctor, so I'm going to become a doctor, and whatever those things are, or because I still have some unmet emotional needs, some that were in the womb. There's certain needs of the soul that we all have pre-utero, during birth. Actually, there's a very specific need. It's the feeling wanted. Like if we didn't feel wanted, then there's the sense of wonder. Then from 2 to 3 and 4, all the way up actually to even going into our 50s, we have certain needs, but the most important ones are from 0 to 7, and if those needs were not met, we're going to be spending most of our lives trying to meet those needs through external sources. And so that starts to create a life that is really not authentically yours. It's an attempt to fulfill something through creating something or attaining something or being in a relationship, but it's not truly who I am. And so that's a limit. That's a limit to my most authentic, expansive, joyful existence.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm going to stop right here. That's, yes.
I was reading that in just right because I'm on this devotional path and just receiving, right? Like just receiving that a little bit more in my body of like noticing where I was holding on and just how I got to surrender more into my body and relax a bit deeper where I was holding on to things even just from today. And what's fun about this is, I know you, and I had an idea of why you co-created this event and are bringing some of your favorite humans who are on this devotional path together. But the title of my teaching, and it's a true masterclass that I would normally likely have a price point attached to it, because when I was finished with it, I had never taught in this way. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this literally came through me. And I called it, I have it written here, From Limitation to Liberation, the Key to Unlocking Your Divine Potential.
Ooh.
And what came through me through my own experience over the last few years of awakening is I was receiving massive societal conditions that that are in our human genome. And through my own experience, I was clearing them through on my own individuated path so that I could heal that and transmute that. And so that I could actually come into the full embodiment of what the actual truth is. And I've got 3 of them, 3 limitations that clearly are here to be cleared, especially during the time of this equinox and new beginnings. And it's powerful because it didn't come from me.
No, yes. And that's so amazing and incredible, like what you're saying. It's like part of what this event is about too, is learning how to be a vessel to receive. It's like I said this in the intro video. It's like we're coming to the pit stop and we are looking under the hood. We're looking at the oil and the tires and how's the engine, and you're taking a look because living a life, a limitless life, is actually a magic carpet ride where you're not the doer, you're not efforting, you are not compromising, because you're in co-creation with this incredible universal energy. And when that, it's kind of like the integration of your, when you finally can integrate your little girl or little boy, right? Like a little girl here, actually. So when that relationship, when she realizes, oh, okay, you know, we disassociate and we leave that and we don't really know how to connect back in. But when we start doing our work and we connect back in, and she knows, okay, Bree, adult Bree's got my back. There's an integration that happens that never undoes itself again. And that's actually the same thing that's sort of going on here. It's like you move into a space where you learn about what that relationship is back to your body. And again, doing your inner child work is coming back to your body. That's what that is. You know, I call my inner child my feelings that I've tried to not feel. Every time I don't want to feel them or I judge them, I'm sort of saying to her, no. And every time I want you to take care of me, I'm sort of giving up my little girl for adoption and saying, please take care of her, please take care of her. And again, so there's this process that we're in, and it's a pit stop, it's a preparation. And it's not a moral issue. It's not, I'm not there yet. It's not, oh God, I don't have this or that. It's a very humbling process of, these are, you know, because we do have limits, right? We have a certain amount of energy every day. We have a certain amount of time every day. And so those are some God-given limits. But, and then also I have a limit, like I'm not a singer. I wish I was, but I'm not. So I believe that God really gives us these limits to surrender us to get into our unique gifts. So there are some sort of limits that we were meant to have so we could stay focused on where we need to go. But then there are other self-imposed limits and other limits that we have by default, but that we can focus on and we can shift and heal, which if it's a body that's full of charge, because we've been living in trauma response for decades, then that is a body that has a limit because it's full. It's full of the past. It doesn't have space to receive anything new. That's a limit that, okay, now that I'm aware, I didn't know for many years that this is what was going on, why I kept sabotaging or putting on the brakes. That's a limit that, while not my fault, now I know, and now I get to do the work with someone like Lynn's, right? Like, how do I start moving the charge out of my body? How do I build capacity to receive what I truly want in my life? And so, yeah, I'll stop there, but it's this preparation through meditation, through sound, through women coming together. We come together on Tuesday evening and we're doing this incredible circle where just the energy of being there, it's like, just, it's permission to say, okay, I'm done. It's allowing things to just move out of your field because they're so ready to come off, like so ready to come off. And sometimes we have to come together in communion and gather together and join together for that to, wow, that really, for that to transmute, for you to transcend certain things. And there's going to be a lot of experiential to move that charge we talked about. And then I'll just say this last thing, I'll turn it over to you. I want to just say, then there's our limits, our self-imposed perceived limits, like, well, I'm not smart enough, so I can't do that. I'm not, I'm not worthy of that, or I don't really belong in that room, or who am I to say this? Those are our own limits that's where our work lies. It's like, okay, wow, I still have a lot of limiting beliefs. So that's what's limiting me. And okay, wow, all the adrenaline and the charge in my body, that's what's limiting me. But then how do I master the time that I have and the energy that I have with where I put my focus?
Yum. Now, what I'm really hearing from you is the spaciousness, right? Once we have the awareness and without judgment and without being attachment to timeline, we can transmute that density that's stored within our vessel, right? And this is why it's beautiful, because you and I do very different work and very similar work, right? It's like the simplicity of recognizing that this vessel houses right, our soul and our higher self, and there's stuff that we attach to, and there's wounds and there's things, and over time it just gets bigger and bigger. And what I'm hearing from you is like the liberated and path of this limitless liberated path is truly in the space and the slowing down and knowing what to say no to. And that just comes through devotion, through practice, through showing up to things like this, through being in sisterhood and just starting, right? Like, it can be scary at first to come on with a bunch of different people that you've never met before and let yourself be seen. But because you have all of that energy, that's the limit is actually what's stopping you from taking the first step. So just taking the first step, what starts to happen is you start to actually let the divine create momentum with you, and then it becomes easier, and then you start to love it, and then you start to like need it and crave it because you recognize how it's supporting you. And what I do want to presence with, things that are happening, like the equinox, for example, you have a whole multitude of people around the world that are coming together, that are doing this high frequency work, and the energy, the universe speaks in energy. That is the language of the universe. So you have the support of people who are coming together that are here with very similar intentions, right? Of new beginnings, of expansion, of holding the light, of opening our hearts, of loving our bodies through all of this stuff that we go through in the human experience. And so I invite you, I'm going to drop the link below. I invite you to join us for this full event that Britta has worked so diligently and beautifully on. And join us for the Circle Live in Community.
Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be Linz and I and two other gorgeous women. They're light, their energy, and we've come together and prepared a yummy circle. And I know the equinox is on Monday, but we're still in the energy on Tuesday. And I just wanted to say that this retreat is also, I've set the intention for it to be this sacred space. It's almost like I'm seeing like a big ditch, but it's not a ditch. It's a fire pit of white light, and I've already opened it up. So even people that have already signed up, that white light is already working to dissolve, because once the light is there, right, it raises everything. It's being in the light is also what starts to do the dissolving of that is in the light for you. And so this fire pit of white light is already open. And so we've been energizing this space and really serving. And the intention is for people to come into the space and drop off and start seeing themselves. And really, but the one thing I wanted to say is and this is a big one, is to give yourself permission, like let go of all the habitual condemnation and judgment of I'm not there, I'm doing it wrong. All of that is the biggest limit, is the daily judgment and not accepting where I am in this moment, whether I'm going through a dark night of the soul, whether I've just been let go from a job, whether a friend of mine just, betrayed me. And we start to think like, where did I go wrong? And the thing is that there's nowhere that you've gone wrong, actually. And the fact that you have been limited in body through all the trauma, that's not a moral issue. It's not personal that you've sabotaged things. That's actually the way the body has kept you safe, that she has kept you. She loves you that much. She's kept you safe in that. And so it's an opportunity for people to come out after the 7 days and go, whoa, you've got a reservoir of compassion that you've been able to build to say, wow, this is just a physiological thing. It's been nothing. It has nothing to do with my worth, my effort, or who I truly am. And it's like there's more coats of judgment and heaviness and limits are dropped off. And so you're going to come out lighter and hopefully with a lot more compassion, because it's a detachment. We're sort of just looking together, all women holding hands, and we are together looking at our lives and sorting out. We're putting the light on in the bedroom, and we're just sorting piles that don't belong to you and putting them in that fire pit of white light.
Oh my gosh. And I'm just looking at what you titled the circle, Spring Equinox Women's Circle, clear your field and open your heart for new beginnings. So just feel that for a minute, and I never thought that this feeling is what could actually be possible, because I just kept holding on hope and that feeling of lightness and that feeling of trust. And it's so fascinating because I've been getting so much guidance on how we're moving as a collective from morality to consciousness. And you actually just helped me connect more dots, that this is why we're clearing that moral conversation with ourselves, which is only going to help heal the collective, right? That's the difference between this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad, this is a mistake, this isn't. You should go here, you shouldn't go here, you should do this, you shouldn't do that. And that is what you've invited us into with this event. So I am forever grateful. I cannot wait to go live. And I think it's fun for me to share this before we pop off. You invited us in the circle to all share a practice for the equinox, and I don't have one yet. Of course, I have a million tools and practices. And through this work, I have learned that practice will drop in before we get together. It may be tomorrow, it may be an hour before. That is the level of limitless, liberated trust that I want for you if this is what you're claiming for your life, because it's possible. And that's where you get out of your own way.
But that's it. Like, part of being limitless and saying yes to a limitless life is really learning how to hear that voice and trust that everything will be given. You do not. This is how I traveled the world. Without it, I would have been attached to my fear, but I was attached to this voice that was giving me the path. And when I did things I never thought, even my ex-husband was like, what do you mean you're in the south of Spain and Malaga with a car shift stick? You don't even drive. And I'm like, I don't know. It's this limitless connection to this divine voice that is taking me places I never could have on my own device, left to my own devices. I would have been limited.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see you all there. Britta and I have been cooking up some things behind the scenes, perhaps some in-person fun stuff. So stay tuned for that. And we definitely have some sacred work that we get to continue to do together. And I can't wait to continue to serve this community and beyond. So thank you.
Yes.
All right. Much love, everyone. And I can't wait to see you at the event.
All right. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh. Happy Tuesday. Happy Equinox. Happy day 2 of our retreat. And I am surrounded by these incredible healers, powerful women, mystics, and we are here to bring you a treasure of a session today with incredible energy, incredible intention. And I'm just going to check the page to see, please say hello wherever you're coming in from. And just want to make sure that we are showing up as live here, which I'm pretty sure we are, but yes, we are. Yeah, we're here. So today, well, you know, the spring equinox was actually here we're in the US in North America. We had the spring equinox yesterday at around, I think it was 5:20, right, ladies? 5:20 Eastern time, that is. Yeah, and we are still immersed in the energy, though. The energy's still going, and really today's the 21st of March. And so we're so excited to bring you this today. So if you're joining us just as a standalone event, welcome. You're going to get to meet 3 incredible women. If you're part of the retreat, you probably already got to meet one of these lovely women, Veronica Krestow, today. She was on day 2. And there's more incredible things coming down the pipeline with Lindsay. And she's going to be also coming in I think in a day or 2. And then of course, our lovely Sacha is coming down in a few days too at the retreat. So welcome all of you. Say hello to us when you come on in. And I'd love to welcome Lindsay Martin-Ellis and Sacha Sterling and Veronica Krestow. And these women will tell you a little bit about what they do, but they have their sessions as well. Don't miss those during the retreat. So we are here, and of course, we are really using this event, and we're using today to leverage this incredible energy that we have. And we want to really build this incredible momentum that the spring equinox brings us. And I know some of you may be in a different hemisphere, and it'll be the autumn equinox. But for the purposes of doing this spring equinox, we're speaking more into how do we ride this momentum of becoming? How do you today make this decision of what needs to be dropped off? What do we need to clear? And what do we need to make a little more space for? What do we need to, whether it's in our hearts, whether it's in our nervous system, whether it's in our minds, right? And so these lovely ladies are here to join together because as Sacha says, when women come together, healing happens. And so we're here to drop off some medicine and to really support you into jumping onto that momentum and really starting to take a taste of what is going to come forth for you. So Linz, would you just want to say hello and just how you're feeling in this spring equinox?
Hello. I'm so excited to be here. I am feeling so alive, so excited, so happy to serve. And I'm excited to connect with, you know, what we're letting go of, which is more of the fall equinox and bringing in the new, the duality, the paradox, right? How Mother Earth teaches us and shows us the cycles and seasons of life. So I'm very happy to be here and I'm excited to connect in sisterhood with you all.
Yay. And Sacha, say hello to us and how are you feeling?
Oh, thank you, Britta. I'm so happy to be here and to share space with each of you and you watching, tuning in. I feel like this is just the most potent time to be alive in a female body. And when we come together in true support of one another, exponential healing happens. And I'm so I'm truly curious around what we collectively create and usher in and innovate. And I do believe that the innovation happens when we come together in conversations like this. So I'm so happy to be here.
So happy to have you. And lovely Veronica, please say hello.
Hello. Yeah, I feel just so incredibly grateful to be here with all of you at this time. It feels like, obviously the word balance with Equinox, it's like the winter and the summer, or if you're in the other side of the world, the autumn or the summer and the winter equally is pulling us towards balance. It's like it doesn't matter where we are on the globe right now. We're right in the center of this polarity of winter and summer, sort of ushering us into a state of balance and centeredness and empowerment. I'm noticing this in my own life, just finding that balance, right? Where am I out of balance? And how can this moment in time really allow us to create some incredible momentum in our lives by choosing to strengthen the side that's maybe a little weaker, whether it's winter or summer, to find that beautiful balance. So powerful to do it together here.
Yes. And it's a great opportunity to set intentions and really, start setting the stage really for what you want to do. And then every day, just back it up with more intention and action and really living it. Like we have such an opportunity right now to break cycles that we've never been able to drop off things that we've inherited, right? A lot of us never created what we are actually cleaning up. And I say that with a lot of kindness and just as an honor, if you will. And some of you may say an honor, we're cleaning up, but really we're really here to be bloodline shifters. And it's an honor. And we've been equipped, we've been equipped in the right resources, the right teachers, the right everything is here to support you to do that. One of the most important jobs that you're here to do right now. So it is such a gift to come together. So as we make room today and space and we are increasing capacity, I want to start us off with a prayer before I turn it over to the ladies, because they're each going to bring in their beautiful medicine and ritual and to really support you in doing that. And so if you just want to get comfortable and just sort of breathe this in and see where in your body do you feel this, what I'm about to share. I'm going to do a little bit of just dropping off some things by bringing you to presence and to embodiment and to making a choice that some things that might be habitual in this moment, they can be parked to the side just for this moment. We can do that, right? For a minute or two, even that's a huge win. So I just invite you to, let's take probably this, it's later in the evening. You've probably already had some deep breaths. Maybe some of you have not had any deep breaths. So let's just collectively together take an intentional, expansive breath, just to bring in a little more space in where it is that we are feeling like we need just a little bit more space, more opening, more expansion. So let's just go ahead and do that together and take a deep breath in. And exhale. And just check in with your body. What part of your body needs a little more opening right now? Identify what that part could be. It could be anywhere, your neck, your chest, your heart, your pelvis. And now let's breathe into that part. And let it go. And let's take your deepest breath of the day thus far without straining, with ease. And let it go. And as I just open up this circle with this prayer, as we mark this time of equinox, may we find the balance we desire and need in our lives, light and dark, spirit and body, mind and soul. At the spring equinox, may we recognize the promise of rebirth. Take a moment to just connect with that rebirthing energy. And take a moment to take it a step further and see what it is that you are birthing. An open heart, open arms for that. At the autumn equinox, may we recognize and give thanks for the blessings for the summer harvest and the fruits of our gardens. There's a season for it all. As we mark the equinox in either the northern or southern hemisphere, let us wonder at the mystery that is life. Can we just take a deep breath in for that mystery? That's where the magic happens. Can we welcome that in today? And direct ourselves and our bodies, our energy, our hearts to open ourselves to the blessings. And as you imagine a fire pit of white light that's in front of us in this circle, and we're all gathering around this fire pit of white light that is there for you. You can open it right here, right now, and it'll stay lit for you for whenever you need it. Where you can place anything and discard anything that isn't useful so that it can be transmuted into love and then be given out into the collective. And in this fire pit, we're just going to discard or place, gently place, lovingly leave, put in there just for this moment. Just for this healing circle. So imagine whatever we're going to discard in there in just a moment, that it's coming out of you, and see it going into this beautiful flame. And transmuting into love. So just for this healing circle, I will not worry about the next moment. See that worry transmuting into this beautiful energy. Just for this circle, I will leave behind all my plans and ideas. Just for this circle, I will place all my limits, my preferences, the way I think things need to look. Just for this circle, I will open up my heart just a little more. And just for this circle, I will leave the need to be in the past or the future and bring my attention to my breath and to the rituals. And just for this moment, I will allow myself to feel peace, feel joy, and to feel connected. And so it is. Deep breath in. And let it go. Just notice if that last breath was a little deeper than the first three. And now I'm going to open it up to our lovely mystic women here. And who would like to start?
I'm happy to begin. I just want to thank you for that, Britta. That was so nice. I feel like I just took a soul shower. Yeah, it's, as we're in this equinox, and as you were just sharing that, I've been meditating a lot on this time, and just realizing that we're all, each of us, no matter where we are, we're kind of being, it's like we're in this dual reality where the energy, the feminine energy and the masculine energy are constantly at play in our lives. And the equinox is this time of, are we like really out of balance with these, or are we somewhere close to the middle? Are we perfectly aligned? I don't know that I've ever met anyone perfectly in the middle all the time. But really what I've been sitting with, and I'd love to invite everyone here to, is to sort of open into this masculine and feminine energy. So if you think about, even though we're entering a new season and we might be much closer to the winter than we are summer, right? Or you might be much closer to the summer than to winter, depending on where you are in the globe. We have these opposite energies working with us at all times. And the equinox is an opportunity to really investigate and ask, before I drive forward into this vision, into what I want to create, which part of me, which side of me, whether it's, the active, solar, powerful energy of the masculine, or the receptive, still yin quality of the feminine, which energy of you is starved or maybe a little hungry to be wanting to be strengthened? And if we can clarify this, if we can clarify which side of us is really asking for more strengthening and which one is maybe a little excessively pumped up, now we can find balance so that we can actually move into this new season with radical abundance. Like Britta says, limitless life, limitless businesses, limitless energy. And so, admittedly, I am doing this and I'm like, man, like my summer energy is just running through the winter. Like, it's just, I don't know if anyone here can relate. The summer energy is just very strong for me. So I'm going to just ask you a few questions, and maybe if we can tune in for a minute here, if you want to tune into your body and just notice, if you take a deep, deep breath in and placing your palms out in front of you. So you have your left and right palm receptive, open right in front of you, almost like you're holding these two energies. Imagine in one hand, you're holding a massive snowflake. And in the other hand, you're holding this beautiful flame. So you have this energy of winter, you have this energy of summer, you have this energy of stillness, deep listening, and you have this energy of action and radiance and power. And as you tune into your body, which energy feels more dominant for you? Like currently in this moment, are you in this go, go, go energy? Or are you in this, like, I call it the tree hugger energy. So I have like this tree hugger in me and I have the go-getter. And they are constantly like working for for center stage, right? So there's the one who just wants to sit under a tree and bird watch. And there's the one who's so excited to plow forward and create and bring beauty into the world and take action. Which version of you can call it what you will, if you want to use the tree hugger or the go-getter, which version of you is super strong? And which version of you feels less dominant? And so there's no judgment here. We're just like expanding our aperture of awareness, opening up, really taking a bird's eye view of how we've been operating and taking a deep, deep breath in. And as you exhale out, just honoring these energies and noticing, let's say your left hand is the winter and your right hand is the summer. So the left hand is the tree hugger, right hand is the go-getter. And just starting to notice like what levels those are at, right? And now asking yourself that less dominant energy. So for me, it would be winter. It would be the tree hugger who's like, come on, I know you're an entrepreneur. I know you love your work, but can we please have more time off? Like, can we have more spaciousness? What is the less dominant energy asking you for? What is that less dominant energy really needing from you and your life at this time? And as you breathe here, just really noticing what comes up for you. You might place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Just notice again, masculine, feminine energies at play. They're everywhere all the time. Belly, fire, solar plexus, solar energy, heart, feminine energy. Notice that they're dancing. If they could write love letters to each other rather than be in opposition, success is inevitable. Balance is inevitable. So what is that? I'm so curious where everyone is at, which energy is more dominant, which one's less dominant, and what is the feminine or masculine that needs to be more, strengthened? What does it want from you at this time during this equinox to prepare you for a flourishing season? And I'll share with you an example. So for me, working 6 days a week, although I love my work, is no longer okay. So I'm switching. I just announced to everyone, my students, clients, my colleagues, everyone my team, that I now have a 4-day work week. And it feels really scary, right? Because if you're used to operating in a certain way, it's going to feel impossible or scary to lift that other energy. What is that action for you? So for others, it might be that you're very comfortable hugging trees, right? But you're like, oh, I just never take the action. I never make the videos. I never put out the newsletter. I never go out and market or whatever it is. So that would be the fire that's asking to burn. And as a very simple ritual, I just invite you to take something that represents winter. So a branch without leaves, and something that represents summer. So my candles kind of, something that represents the fire, or you could do, a little flower or something that represents the sunshine, and just go out in nature and just really give gratitude for both of these energies. And what is that one, let's say for you, it's the summer that could use more strengthening action, heart-centered action. What is that habit that you're committing to putting into play now? And if you could then, once you clarify that, put it in your calendar. What is that new habit? And just notice what happens if you commit for 5 days in a row, 21 days in a row, whatever it is for you. And for me, it's just setting this new, this new schedule in place. It might be for you a meditation practice, or making a video every day for 5 days, something off, that feels out of your comfort zone. And I would just take action on that and see what happens when you come into greater balance.
I love it. And I love for all of you to share that on the comments, which one was more dominant, and what is the habit that has come up for you that you're going to take action for the next 5 days or 21 days. It's just that simple. And then so important, calendar, right? Put it in the schedule.
Yes.
Because we are stepping into this sort of momentum, right? So you want to put some action behind it, because that's, you mean business. So yeah, I want to keep riding this. I want to keep this becoming process. I want to take the limits. I want to have more space. Thank you so much, Veronica.
It's my honor. I'm curious which ones you are more dominant in, but yeah.
I'll share in this moment. I was surprised, but I was definitely more in my tree hugger, because what I shared earlier, that I've taken this week off to just be in space holding with, and I feel like I'm on vacation. So, but that felt, what I heard is to keep, what does it need? Is to keep this consistency of space, around all the doing. So that was beautiful. Linz and Sacha, what came up for you?
Go ahead, Sacha.
Okay. Well, I very much have been in my tree hugger after my divorce, and walking away from a business last year, I would say I was 100% in the winter. I would drop my kids off. Actually, no, I had a live-in nanny who would take the kids to school, do all the grocery shopping, and literally I would sit in silence for up to 12 hours a day. I would sit in the bath. Lindsay would we would sometimes, I'm in the bath too. I've never experienced anything like it up until this point of giving myself almost 8 months of such stillness. And it was profound, so profound. And so I'd say now, though, as I'm been re-engaging, the fire has been lit once again from within. It's probably like 80-20. And I'm so appreciative of that process, Veronica, because I feel resourced. Like it is time to go more into the 50-50. And there's, like that. So I really appreciate the timing could not be more perfect for that.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for that inspiration. I'm like 8 months off. Yes.
Right? Sign me up. I'm there. I'm coming over, Sacha.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, actually, Brie, I received the exact same message as you, except I was in my fire. I'm in my fire right now. And the messaging that came through was, you're in a time to be the divine in action, continue, move forth, do it, be it, and keep creating moments of spaciousness in pockets and little micro pauses of sacredness. And I just received affirmation that I'm on path and just to continue to create that spaciousness, right? Because our connection with time, it's not like I put 1 hour in of service and I need to put 1 hour in of giving myself presence. It could be a minute. It could be 5 hours in the bath talking to all my best friends. That's the beauty of it. So thank you for that. I've never, been that, intentional about feeling it in my body. So thank you for that practice.
And Veronica, we're curious to know if you are a bath woman, because I just found out Sacha is. I definitely know Lindsay is, and I could live in the bath.
No, we're all mermaids, clearly. Like we're traveling for 4 months, and I will not rent an Airbnb or anything unless they have a gorgeous bath, because I can't function without a bath.
Okay, so we're aligned in that respect. I just want to tell you a few of the comments. Tree hugger was stronger for sure for Nancy, and Jacqueline. Fire was more dominant, giving myself permission to rest and nurture my spirit. Everything just works in life when we nurture our spirit and our bodies, right?
Totally.
And then Catherine, fire more dominant for sure. Beautiful. So as you're watching the replays, let us know what's coming up for you. And Linz, I think I have to just forgive me. I don't think your word is expansion, actually. I know, it just dropped on me. I was like, no, that's my word. I guess I want it to be your word too, but no, please share the word of the year for you.
Spaciousness.
Yes, which is what I was getting at, that I know you wanted that space, that expansion of space. So beautiful. Well, Linz, do you want to go and take us through your process?
Sure. Oh my goodness, this feels so good. We get to have sacred bath parties. I've actually seen there's companies that they have sister circle with milk baths with water under the full moon. And I want to co-create that with whoever wants to come. So let's put that into the field.
Let's put that in. Absolutely.
Yeah. So obviously, just to continue to segue into the conversation here, that ritualizing everyday life has opened up so much possibility and potentiality and joy and presence in my life. So even the act of putting our hands on our body, which we've done a few times now, right? Just feeling our body. So if you want to do that for a moment again, if you're noticing that, right, you're typing in the comments and maybe you're coming in and out of presence, or somebody enters the room, or you have other responsibilities right now, simply taking a breath and putting your hands on your body brings us back to the sacredness of the miracle that we are right here, right now. right? What is in this moment is sacred, period. And so something new came through today. I had a feeling this was going to happen. And if you have a candle nearby, I invite you to light it. So again, this is about intentionality. The more intentional that we are with our life, the more happy we are, the more joyful we are, the more connected we feel to every sentient being on this planet, right? We are not just on this planet, we are her. We are of the earth, and the entire cosmos are inside of us. And so we have these portals and these moments that the ancients have been doing and ritualizing and communing with since the beginning of time. And we get to bring that ancient wisdom back into our existence. Because what I believe is that we have a severed connection with our divinity, with source, with consciousness, with God, whatever we want to call that higher intelligence. And the moment that we can start to bring that back in and claim that for ourselves, everything changes. And that's where we truly become liberated.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can close your eyes, if you haven't already done so, and just call in this golden, luminescent, yellow sunlight into your field, into your mind's eye. Just want to open up the directions of our sacred space. So again, we have these allies, seen and unseen, known and unknown, that are always present, the directions, the elements, all of the celestial beings, the heavenly bodies, Pachamama, all of our guardian angels, all of our galactic family, whoever we call to and pray to. So just feeling the warmth of this golden yellow radiating and permeating your entire being. And I just want to call on and welcome in the guardians of the East. This is the fire, the element of fire, the season of spring. This is a new dawn, a new day, rebirth, new life, fertility, beginning again, sunlight. Feel that in your body. This is the energy of the spring equinox. So what is it that you are bringing in to this moment in time? Bree's already supported us. So has Veronica, right? And clearing out with that density that gets to be clear and truly creating more harmony in our life. So now we get to bask in the new, in the rebirth, in our highest timeline, in our highest potentiality, knowing that we are divinely supported, knowing that we are on path. As long as we continue to choose presence and to continue to cultivate a new moment, we can always trust what is in the sacredness of that. And so in your mind's eye, just turning a quarter turn, welcoming the guardians of the South. Just feeling that for a moment, and for the purposes of time, I won't go into all of my fun ritual details about the South, but just feeling your connection with the South, the water, the orcas, the flow, your emotions, the purification. And thanking these elements, these directions, these archetypes for their presence here today and for their infinite blessings. Continuing on a quarter turn, welcoming in the guardians of the West, Pachamama, the earth element, the season of fall. This is exactly the energy that we're cultivating here: sisterhood, divine mother, sacred body, temple energy, the darkness of the new moon today. Feel that. And finally, with that quarter turn to the north, the air, the winds of our ancestors, the winter season, the slumbering earth, the silence, using air as your prayer to guide you and lead you. Just feeling the support, feeling that you're held, falling in the above and the below, the crystal core center of the earth and all the way through the ethers and the heavenly bodies. And for this moment, I just want you to feel this connection with your heart. If you can place your hand on your heart center and just feeling yourself as source consciousness in the center of this portal that we've opened here today. And how we all have access to this. We are all sovereign. We are all powerful creators. And we are all divinely supported. It's simply a matter of choosing. And so just asking the question from this place of presence, from this place of feeling connected to the unified field, what is it that you are ushering into the world at this time? What gets to be born and birthed through you to be of service to the whole? And you can write that down once you start to come back into the space and open your eyes. And this is where you get to trust it. When you're in presence and when you're connected, you get to trust the messages that are coming through. And so the invitation is to take one small, actionable step to move yourself forward in the direction of what your higher self, your soul, and your body are calling you forward during this time. Thank you.
Sorry, but wow. I just want to share, and I'd love to see what came up for you two ladies, and also for our lovely people watching. It just, I got this incredible sense, like embodied sense of this oneness as we were turning, that everything is us, and it's just a relationship with everything, and it's digesting those relationships. So this felt like a huge enzyme, if you will, to allow this connection to everything, to all possibility, to everything was neutral and everything was a relationship. And just like we were saying earlier, that we're breaking contracts, right? And we're really bloodline shifters, but we're just part of a body that has many bodies down our lineage, but it's the same body. We're just a part of that body. Like that was, and so I saw all of this with this, and it's like everything's one, and I know that, but we're all one. We're all the same body. It's just a piece of the body. So we're honoring our ancestors and what's coming after us, and all of us here, present or not present, anyone that even signed up, it's with that, you're part of that. So thank you, Linz. It was beautiful. Veronica.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that. And when you said the above and the below, something just clicked, and it felt like I just went into a portal and landed here on Earth. It was like, almost like what happened prior to incarnating, if that makes sense. And going, oh, right, we have a mission here. Like there's a purpose here. And it just felt like whatever that guidance was felt like a reset into that remembrance. And I really appreciate you said, what is that next? What are you here to usher in now? it just all became so clear why I'm doing what I'm doing right now and the timing of things. And it's just collectively, there is such a power backing us. And I just thank you for that. That's a really beautiful, beautiful ritual.
Mm.
Thank you for your powerful prayer, Lindsay. I just felt the pure channel of you, like the divine speaking through you. And yeah, it felt really yummy to receive. Thank you.
Thank you.
And just to share, when you said, what are we ushering? Like what, and what I saw was that this was what was presented to me, that the biggest gift is presence. Presence.
Yes.
So let me just see what our, wow, that was so delicious. Amazing. Yes, of course, right? That we could, I'm very expressive. So I was like,
I'm the same, and I'm like trying to hold myself back. I'm like,
I welcome all the sounds.
yeah. I mean, just spiritual digestion. I was like, that's just so good. And it's going down really nicely. So, and then I've got someone else here, another beautiful lady saying, Catherine, I felt and saw the yellow light evolve and turn white all around me. Yes. And then there's some LOLs because of our expression and digestion of yumminess.
Can I add one last piece, Bri?
Yes.
So when you were speaking of the ancestors, what was coming through is, if we are all of this planet, we are all, everyone is our ancestors,
Yes.
all beings who have come before us. And that, right, like that is the deepening of like truly recognizing the unity consciousness that we're all stepping into as we continue to heal our wounds. So I just wanted to share that piece, that I'm in the process of working through that myself right now too, right? Like really believing that, feeling that, knowing that no matter who is in my field, still having that discernment, still, right, honoring my sovereignty, my voice, but truly recognizing I am that person is me, and everyone who came before me is truly my ancestors if we are all of this planet.
And it just reminds me of, what you're supporting us here is in activating that Christ consciousness, right? That unity consciousness, that spiritual vision, right? It's like, and we vacillate between seeing from the body's eyes, which sees everything that the world is made of. And then that was my deepest prayer a lot last week. For some reason, it was, help me to just see love in everything I come in contact with today. Like just activate that love, those glasses. I want to put on those glasses where wherever I go, I just see abundance. I see love. I see me. And that's the holy encounter in the Course in Miracles, right? It's like where every time we meet with somebody, and I did practice this once, when I was traveling the world in Ibiza, particularly, every time I came across, they were my brother, and I try to go beyond the form and just see until I could get to seeing the love that they are. And from that place, I communicated. That was a gorgeous practice. So thank you. And I know that probably sparked more conversation. So anyone want to say anything else before we move on to Sister Sacha?
There's too much. Like, I'll go on for an hour. I just thank you for what you both shared. That was really beautiful. Yeah. Whew.
All right, sister, take it away.
All right. So, wow, what a beautiful co-creation here. We started with Britta sharing her intentions for this sacred space and gathering, and to bring in this blessed equinox and the fresh starts and the rebirth and the momentum, as you talked about. And then Veronica supported us in connecting with, who are we being? Like, from what aspect of ourselves are we dominant, and what does this new and next self want us to, express in masculine, feminine? And then Lindsay brought us to greater spiritual context is how it felt for me. Like, okay, who am I? Where am I? And that the connection to the all and oneness. And so where I feel called to share next is how do we know what is ours to do? How do we know what information we're tuning into is actually ours or not ours, so that we do trust the messages coming through, as Lindsay so beautifully said. So as a growth-oriented woman, and I'm sure we've got lots of sensitive, intuitive, beautiful beings here, when we're tuning in, it's like so much information can come through, or we can be tapping into so much information in the collective, right? The beauty of that, seeing each person as a reflection of self. And then what does that actually do in the practical day-to-day though? Like, what actually do I want to be tuning into, and what is mine to actually do something with? And so a practice that's been really powerful for me is mine, not mine. Mine, not mine. And then actually having a somatic practice of claiming or releasing. So I want to move us through just a little bit of movement and process around this in service of creating the spaciousness, which is part of that intention that Britta opened with. So I invite everyone to stand up. If you're in a place you can stand up. And so as beautiful as it is, and I'm a big believer in oneness consciousness and unity consciousness, we are here in our own physical bodies to have a sovereign individuated experience. And so when we're spread, if sometimes we can be like, parts of us can be spread through time and space and in other people's business and not even know it. So we're going to open up with actually circling the self. So I encourage you to actually go in a circle 3 times, one direction, breathing yourself into present time and space, and then go the other direction. So I'll show you. We're going to go. And you can do arms too. We're actually circling. Envision yourself circling yourself and pulling yourself into the here and now. So we're doing 3 times one direction and 3 times the other direction. Okay. So if you're in a place, I encourage you to lay down on the floor in child's pose. It is a yoga pose. It's one of the most gentle yoga poses ever. This is a picture of it if you've never done it. You're literally just laying on the ground with your forehead on the ground. Your knees are open, and I'm going to stay seated so I can guide you through this process. So recently I learned from my yoga instructor and acupuncturist that child's pose, where you place your third eye on the ground and breathe, actually pushes a pressure point that shifts your whole physiology into a state of calm. So this is one of the easiest practices to clear the chatter, clear the mind, both in your mental mind and your psychic mind, and connect to who you are in the here and now. So as you're breathing and enjoying this pressure point being activated, creating a beautiful cascade of happy hormones and feel-good feelings in your body, I invite you to scan your space, scan your body, and just notice what is alive and present for you right now. To-do lists, worries, anticipation, excitement, aliveness, sensuality, maybe disconnection. Maybe you're feeling shut down. Maybe there's some anxiety. Is there a part of your body that you're not really inhabiting fully? Is there a part of your body you're judging? Just notice what you notice. And continue to breathe. And without judgment, I invite you to ask yourself, what is mine that I'm experiencing and feeling and tapping into right now? And what is not mine? What is mine and what is not mine? And continue to breathe. And as you're scanning and sifting what is yours and what is not yours, I invite you to connect to the consciousness of the earth, this planet that has so got you, has so got us. Stable, steady, consistent, strong, abundant, bountiful, cyclical, powerful. She is here and ready in receptivity for anything, whether it is yours or not yours, that you are ready to release from your body, your mind, your heart, your space. And imagine anything that you are ready to let go of, just flowing easily out of your space, out of your body, out of your third eye, your hands, your knees, your entire being, down into the earth. And she's gratefully receiving all of this to redirect this energy and this information where it is needed next. If you no longer need it, if it does not feel good, it means that it is not yours to do at this moment. And she is waiting to receive it. Continuing to breathe. And I'm going to read you a card, and I'll share the card deck after the process. The card is called Be Spacious. I am willing to discover the manifesting power of caring for my space. A bowl that is full can receive no more food. A room that is full can receive no more guests. You cannot receive when there is no space in which to receive. The question is not, how do you receive? The question is, what are you receiving? Because, in fact, you receive all day long. If you do not claim and guard your space, something or someone else will. When you relinquish ownership of your space and blame your job, your family, or your responsibilities for filling up your space, the spaces of your mind, your heart, your body, your spirit, and your life will be filled by whatever the wind brings. As you reclaim your space and nurture your personal authority over your space, you expand in your capacity to be a fortunate receiver of the good and better things in your life. Blessings come in expected and unexpected ways. Space is the invitation. And when you're ready, breathe yourself back into the here and now and open your eyes and come back around the metaphorical fire. Yay.
Wow. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just start quickly by sharing that that position always puts me in a state of surrender. And at the beginning, it's like, oh, this feels really yummy. But then it's like there's layers, maybe realms that I'm traveling into. And I just felt Mother Earth just breathing in and out. Everything when you said drop it in, it was like she was like, give it to me, I'm here. And I felt so small and so secure in such a vast place that was just saying, just give it all to me. And I was like, oh, okay, here you go. Take it all. And what came up is illusion, is to give up the illusion and the delusion that I'm limited and that there's limits to what we can do. It's beautiful. Ladies.
I'll go. I'm still not fully back.
That's how I feel. I'm just like,
Agreed.
oh,
The shuffle's coming back up.
I was
It
like,
was a little sped up. You can do this in your own time, but yes.
oh my gosh, it's perfect for winding down for the evening.
Yeah.
But it reminded me, right, of again, this rebirth energy and how I used to sleep like that little and just being so close almost to the fetal position and just allowing that to hold me. But what feels important to share is this is the removing and dissolving of the hierarchy, because right, we're all receiving as this is true reciprocity at its finest, giving and receiving and truly being student and teacher. And what I got to send back to Mama Gaia was my fear of this Christ consciousness conversation and this resonance, and what I believe so deeply in my heart that I get to share, and knowing that it's the success to me stops at that, not how it's received, right? Not if people don't understand, not if people aren't ready for it, or if they, project or whatever it is, right? Recognizing that I am that person and that person is me, and this is the dance of it. So it was just supportive in, okay, like I'm a human who has feelings, and I get to give myself grace, and I get to be so committed to what I believe in my heart is truth, and sharing it with those who are ready and available for it, and detaching from whoever is not at this time. So thank you, Sacha.
So beautiful. And thank you, Lindsay, for just sharing about sleeping like that, because you just jogged my memory of, I used to sleep like that as a little girl, like in child's pose, not a girl, a baby, like a nugget, basically. Wow, Sacha. Thank you. It's as I was laying there at first, it felt like, whoa, I've done a lot of clearing, because I just felt like everything in this vehicle is mine. And then I forgot what you said, but suddenly I could feel this great unraveling right around my throat. I could hear inside, there's a roar inside, and it's tired of whispering. And it was like this powerful force. And I could feel like, just this energy I've worked with for so long, which is like this kind of strangling energy that's like, you can't say that. You can't, that message is too big, too much, too dangerous. And so I just felt it like when just like releasing it to Pachamama, and like feeling her like gladly composting it, and that I'm not alone in this. That there's just so many of us at this time where our voices are being asked to be set free, and the love within us is being asked to be shared, and we're being asked to be visible, and we're being asked to shine and find safety in ourselves and in our practice and in our sisterhood and communities. And so I just thank you, Sacha, because that simple practice of forehead to Mother Earth, belly to earth, drop into your body. I love how we orbited ourselves, almost like just landing back in ourselves in each direction. We can do that every night, right? We can do that every day, just to come home so that we can root, and then have the courage to bring our gifts to the world, to take the actions we're here to take. Thank you. I mean, that was really beautiful. Something was like, it's still hot here. So something shifted. Yeah.
It goes to show us how we can incorporate a minute or two of child's pose in between things. Like I shifted worlds, right? Like there was so much activity going on down there just for a few moments, and very powerful. I just want to. So wow, it took me a minute to get up, but my goodness, yes, that's true. Started to cry. Talk about the ripple effect of healing. That's amazing. I felt giving up my past, the hurt, the control and conditioning, let go and just rested heavy. Ooh, nice. As a child, I was silenced due to being hard of hearing, told not to use ASL, and being told to walk safe side of the road, never walk over that line. I stepped over that line today. I
Ooh.
started to cry.
Wow.
Yeah. Whew.
Wow. Is it okay, Britta, if I just share one more thing?
Absolutely.
Something you said, thank you for everyone just in this space. I'm feeling all of you. Something you said, Britta, which was really profound and landed for me, was like, we are healing, or we get to clean up things that we didn't initiate, you know? And so the mine, not mine is so much with my ancestry too. I was with a group of women and we were doing some deep work, and all of a sudden I connected with a lot of women rage from my family line and rape and just like some really big things. And I got to like see it and love it. And then I stood up and I said, not mine. And I went outside and I gave it to the earth. I was like, no, this stops. Like, this is this I like that. So there's so many ways like to use it. And I just do feel the power of each of our, you know, ancestries. And then I love what you said, Lindsay, too, about we're all connected, you know? So just knowing though, like what you said, Veronica, around the call, like I'm hearing that too. People are like, and so being empowered and knowing what is ours to do, what is our sacred service, what is our sacred leadership, and not worrying about, oh, I can't save the world. I'm not here to do everything. I'm here to do my part. And I can still really enjoy my life while I do my part.
I love that you just said that, because I have literally, I have this to remind myself. I wrote down, one of the greatest ways to grow your business is to enjoy your life. And I know that seems counterintuitive, but it's medicine. It's just, we're here to enjoy our lives and shine and love. And God, just thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for this. One nugget I just want to echo again that Lindsay said, that is going to be something I'm going to take with me from earlier, because in my mind, I'm like, no, the hour of work and the hour of off time, like the tree hugger and the go-getter have to have equal time. But I love that quantum shift of like, actually, like what Sacha just guided us through, and Britta's like guidance in the meditation in the beginning, just connecting and breathing. It was like a minute, right? It's so fast. And that's how quickly I can recenter, we can recenter. So thank you for that, that the output can be more time, while going inward can just be an instant and recharge into the tree hugger, just like that. Yeah.
Ooh, ha. Yeah. So to all of us, drink a little water tonight if you can. You know, if we can, we'll be taking a bath, but even a shower, and just stay in inventory, stay in conscious inventory and sorting out process of something coming in. It's like, I even say, like, if I'm feeling all of a sudden some shame or some guilt, and I'm maybe in the shower or I'm walking, I'll be like, whose guilt is this? And then if I hear a voice, that's like, okay, or a name. And then I say, I return to sender with consciousness. And then I go through that, and it's so this sorting out process that you're talking about, Sacha, this is so important right now, because we have the power to command things out of our field. Like we say it's gone. Our field knows what's ours and what isn't ours. And so that's where you can more authentically really be like, okay, wow, this is what I'm feeling, right? So, wow, ladies, I couldn't have planned it any, I mean, I didn't plan it. That's how it all came. I think I was talking to Sacha and it just came out, and this was all planned by that energy and that spirit of the retreat, because the retreat has its own power, right? It's not mine. It's just calling forth. It's a divine appointment of who needs to be here. And so thank you, ladies. I bow. I'm honored. Thank you so much for sharing your brilliance, your time, your wisdom, your medicine, your energy. And like, thank you just for joining here, and for everyone here. There's a lot of thank yous going, you know, you listening to the replay, let us know. And these ladies are all part of the retreat. They have their sessions, and I'll tag everybody. You know where to find everybody. Well, Lynn, let everybody know, where do you hang out the most?
Oh my goodness. My podcast, Soul Shine
Well,
Radio.
I know the bathtub, but outside of that, you podcast.
Podcasting in the bathtub. Maybe I can figure out how to make that safe.
I love it.
I'm making myself more visible. So Instagram and my podcast are some of my favorite places to hang out right now in the social media and podcasting world.
She's got a great podcast. So Lindsay Martin Ellis, go follow her. And Sacha, where are you hanging out the most these days?
It's the same. My podcast, Exploring All That Is Sacred. And also I have just taken the first baby steps of re-engaging with social media. So I have one post on Instagram. You can come find me at Sacha Sterling. And so I literally am just now shifting from like full feminine to some masculine energy. So
which we all love. So
yeah.
don't even worry that you haven't posted. You free hugging. We loved it. So and Veronica, lovely, where do you hang out the most?
So definitely YouTube. That's where I'm consistent and sharing a lot. Instagram as well, but YouTube is my happy place for sure.
Beautiful. Wow. Well, I'm just honored, and thank you all for joining us. I hope that you were blessed by this. I hope that you're feeling lighter, more spacious, just and just how supported. I think that's one of the things that my takeaways, let me know your takeaways here. But one of my takeaways is how supported we are by everything that all the three ladies, you know, the earth, by the galactic, by the south, by the west, by the ground, by you know, like we're just so supported. So may you take that with you on your momentum and process of becoming. And may you continue to enjoy the retreat. Thank you for sharing sacred space with us tonight. And to all of you, sending you a lot of love. Ladies, thank you. It's been an honor. And we will see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.